we need to actually acknowledge the defence. I've been quite heavy on it the last few weeks, just saying how much has improved. But you would have heard it when Andrew Goodwin came down here with Ireland, this term time in the tackle. And you would have seen a lot of these strips last night, and guys trying to get their hits underneath, even trying to force it, into that maul situation.
And that's something that Rassie talked about in his press conference.
Yes. So he goes, we weren't prepared for that.
Yeah.
Now, that's great coaching, but also what time in the tackle creates, even if they didn't get the turnover, every time they didn't get the turnover, they slowed that process down. Because there's time in the tackle, once it goes to the breakdown, everyone's getting set, line speed. Time in the tackle, set, line speed. Oh, it goes to the edge. Okay, on the edge, we're not looking for time in the tackle. Will Jordan, let's have a turnover. David McKenzie, Tana has done a phenomenal job in terms of the systems and the way he has grown this group, and the way they've bought into a system. We have hyped up the attack and how Dave Rennie's done the optimism. Like I have got to tip my cap to the optimism and the belief the players have said. This is how we do now. They stop points. Stopping points is what won that test. Forcing errors is what won that. 24 turnovers by the Springboks. There's an element where you could say the Springboks lost it, but there's an element you can say
they got pressured into
New Zealand's defence won that test match, and that time in the tackle is massive, and it allowed for a lot. Now, I also think we've got to acknowledge some days in rugby, the rub of the green was our way. Now, I love the reffing, and I'll give you an example. That penalty, that scrum penalty, that Matthew Carley gave to the All Blacks when they were walking around, when South Africa walked around, 9 times out of 10, when a scrum's that dominant, the ref would not give that penalty. He'll reset it. Because he'll say, oh, there's no way New Zealand could have. But what I liked is at every scrum, he just reffed that scrum. He was not moved by the momentum he actually allowed New Zealand back into the contest, because so often you can see teams come back into the contest, but they never get rewarded, because I said last week, remember, I said that those first 2 or 3 scrums will dictate the future, of the game, and you won't get it back. Well, he proved me wrong. He loves the potty, watches it. He goes, no, James, you're wrong. I'm going to watch every scrum and make the decision. That's a bold call.
The TMO is coming in going, do you remember what Jibber said?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Carly's
it's all about Jibber.
Shut up, mate.
Head off. Just pipe down. Now, Ardie Savea in his press conference said, I was expecting to go for the yellow card. Now, that went on our side. For him to say, no, I don't think that was. Look, I agree that's not a yellow card. But for everything we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years, that's going to the bin. What we've got to do as Kiwis is acknowledge that. I think that there was some big moments that were reffed perfectly well. Now there's going to be a day in this tour that potentially it goes the other way, and we can't have a cry about it. Do you know what I mean? That'll be hurting the SAFA fans. But that, this happens in sport. You're going to have your day. We got our day. Now it's how we survive when maybe the rub of the green goes the other way, and how we deal with the pressure if there's scoreboard. Do you know what I mean? We've got to just make sure what I did after Eden Park. I was like, the All Blacks are back, baby. We got real emotive. We're like, this is amazing. We're back, and then boom. Even the way they reacted after, I just feel like we as analysts have to actually help the public understand that, man, there's still a big mountain to climb here. We got the result. Amazing result. Expectation, we've exceeded it through the roof. But we have to do a job to really identify, man, it fell our way.
And if you do think about it as well, we had 14 penalties as well. And I think the first 9 penalties were within the first 30 minutes. And if you probably do look here, the 13th penalty was in the 54th minute. The next one that we had the last one was in the 76th minute. So that wiggle room around us being really squeaky clean then led to the 7 penalties for the South Africans.
And that's where we won the game.
Do you know what I mean? So discipline's going to be a big part of it. And I think, I just think we did touch on it a couple of weeks ago around were the South Africans going to be a little bit underdone and them not playing these test matches, and that July series giving a lot of young guys opportunities. And I think, talking to Aaron actually before, the high error rate probably shows that, right? They're just a little bit off in terms of their attack. I think that I don't know how many times they went a bomb out the back and how many times it went to the ground. with Sasha Feinberg then being able to try and get the ball and then trying to attack off that. So I think Tony Brown and co will be very massive around their skill set this week and being able to get in the gym and get in those little nuances because, I just don't think they're going to give up 18 turnovers. They're not going to be that bad in terms of the 10% and the 22. And I just think as well, like their intensity will go up and they'll be a lot more sharper.
I think they were beaten between Monday to Friday in preparation. Like I've never heard Rusty go, I wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, like they were tackling and defending like that in the pre-games.
Yeah.
Like they weren't chop tackling in the middle third or whatever you call it.
Mm.
You know, they definitely were looking to stack. They were looking to strip.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't I'm just saying like from a preparation point of view, did they just miss the mark? Like, yes, we could say they were underdone, but I think they're pretty good players and they rotate their squad all the time. Like, I just felt like maybe they just didn't, as Steve Hansen used to say to us, is like, here's a window. Don't forget to clean the corners. Like you can make it all here look really nice and clean, but it's this stuff that'll count.
You could hear his voice.
But it's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Because when you're looking right here, you're going, I'm all good. Yeah. And you're like, oh, that's just taken me by surprise. That's not looking that nice up there, actually.
Get the cobwebs out.
Yeah. So I just was surprised. And like he is too smart. Like he is going to adjust. Now, what I'm excited about is how our coaches adjust. Like what parts of our game are going to adjust to try and create that hesitation once again?
One thing that I also did enjoy, and I actually talked around it a lot around if we don't get what we're wanting in the attacking side, I thought there's definitely some times in that game where we were very good around, especially early on getting the ball to the edge, that catch pass. I thought it was very good, but our kicking game, like we kicked more than the South Africans, and we did it in a way it was around trying to get the ball back. It was an attacking brand of footy. I know Quinta Pai was an example of the 50-22, which was a big moment, but I just think that the way that we kicked and the mindset of being able to try and get the ball back and being able to exert a bit of pressure and not take it into a De Villiers or a Malcolm Marx to try and get the ball out, I thought we were very good in and around that. So I don't know if you felt the same in and around that, Jip. I liked it because it's balance. We didn't just...
I think it's smart in the altitude. Like you needed to create a bit of a breather. I just want to go back to Matt Carley. Like I think for the game of rugby, what he did is going to allow way more free flowing. Like I think it's going to impact the game so much more because TMOs don't want to be embarrassed like that. And I know he didn't do it to embarrass him, but it's going to make you think as a TMO, am I going down? Am I just being nitpicky niggly?
Yeah.
Or is there an issue here?
And we've actually seen that a few times in the last few weeks, haven't we? Where the ref's gone, mate, I'm the senior guy here and I don't see that.
But I think it takes a lot of courage in the biggest test match. The whole world is watching.
Yeah.
Like this isn't like, Crusaders versus Force. Like it is, and it's no disrespect to the Force of the Crusaders. I'm just saying that not as big a game as this.
Yes.
To make that call where there was so much focus from the coaches, there was so much focus from us.
Yeah.
Oh, these refs. I was even saying, just stick the TMO out of it. I want a human error. Yeah. And he was like, yeah, I'm with you. Like I know he wasn't, but do you know what I mean? Like, I just think he has done what I think will change the way World Rugby police and want to see the game flow.
I laugh because I'd love to see our comment section around if we think that's the same thing.
Yeah.
If they think that's the same thing around the South Africans and think if that was actually the right call.
They won't, and that's my point before. Like it's not going to work for us one day.
Yeah.
And that's fine. We just got to live with that.
Yeah.
And I will openly say like it's going to happen, and I'm going to watch a game with emotion and go
Yeah.
But I'm still going to come back to this common sense approach.
Yeah.
That this is good for rugby. International rugby is too slow.
Yeah.
And I don't mean because the All Blacks are playing quick, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's just moves too slow.
Yeah.
Like 29 minutes in ball and play, like, come on, like we don't need TMO always coming in. Like, let's just get this game going. Let's make it a sexy product.
What changes in the All Blacks approach, Bryn? What is the key thing? We've talked scrums ad nauseum. We've talked about catching high balls. When it comes to their ball, when they're playing with their ball, what is the key thing they need to change to get over that gain line and create the space wide that they struggled with in the first half?
Look, we talk around it a lot, like the physicality at the breakdown and being able to win the contact is a big part of it, being able to go through them. And like we used examples through Scotland and through Argentina, the offloads and being able to get through them to be able to then use their attack. Because I think in a lot of the game, I thought we were able to get the ball to the edge, especially early on, the distribution, getting the ball to the edge, being able to have Tupovai get a last pass or being able to get to where we wanted. And I think we were able to do that. So I think it's just the clinicalness when we have our opportunities, but like we did probably in the game, we took them. And so the challenge is can you do that? Can you operate at a high clip of the 50, 60% of where we were to be able to finish inside the 22? And then just also, I know we have talked about the scrum, but it's been able to nullify that when we have it on our ball. Because we know it's coming from them. And so if we are better in that space, I just think one area that we didn't get right, and I have touched on it, was just our discipline. If we want to continue to keep giving them entries and being able to operate at 14 penalties, 9 in the first 33 minutes, then we're going to make it very, very hard for ourselves. So those are the things that we can control. The boys are able to have the review, get the technical side of it. They've been able to get that right. But I just also think the aerial game, been able to continue to keep being there because we know it's coming, the scrum's coming, and they did it on the weekend. So that's how I probably see it. And I just think we're going to get a much better Springboks team. They're just not going to be as bad in terms of the execution.
All right, you come with me.
Yep.
I just got something I think I'd like to see. So if you just stand in front of that camera.
Yep.
So you're a South African defender. Now I've got a mate here. You're defending him.
Yep.
You just think he's there. I've got another defender here.
Yep.
Okay. You know, like, because our offloads are down, we're not tipping a lot. It's the old 4 legs against 2.
Yep.
So I'm the ball carrier, and you just know this is happening. So I take it from Bryn Hall because he's been flown over there, and I step out, and then my mate latches with me, and then we try and win the collision there. My 2 legs, and then his 2 legs against there, and try and win the collision. Because what we've seen is we just need a couple of dents, and then Damien and that buy time. They can square up, and the South African defence is backtracking, so they can't bring line speed. Then you have that ability to manipulate. So I just think like those first few carries off 9 or even off 10, you just know that the B, the middle guy, he's just skipping out. And then we're joining this together. A lot lower than that from me.
Sorry,
but me.
Yeah, but also me. Like,
Malky would
I'll get pumped off like that.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just one thing like I think would be cool. Not cool, I just think tactically, just simplifying that area to get a punch, right. There you go, Damo, have a crack.
There you go. You can't get lessons like that on any other podcast.